everyone, welcome back to my...
I
knew you were going to do that.
You know, I said to you, I was like, I want to be one of those guests where I'm like,
oh,
I felt like I was when I was sat there like, I'm here, hi.
Hello everyone. God's sake, Shaun.
I can't do the opening.
No, I can't do the opening.
I'm just not going to look, I'm just going to look this way.
But that looks even worse.
I'm just going to look out the window.
Like you don't want to be
like I got forced into it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm joined by the lovely Shaun. For God's sake! Why can't you do this?
I was holding it in so well.
Right.
I just thought about Marina Joyce. I thought like 14 seconds, I'm like, help me.
Blink 3 times if you need help.
Oh, I'm gonna do this whole thing like this. I'm gonna keep going.
Oh, for God's sake!
I'm gonna do the whole video. I'm gonna keep going like. I'm gonna look really scared. Can you imagine?
There's handcuffs down here.
Let's start a conspiracy theory. Oh yes, I'm kidnapped to be in these videos. Right, okay. I'm gonna do it seriously now.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready now.
Are you gonna?
No, I'm ready now. I'm good and ready for it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am joined by the lovely Shaun.
Hello everyone.
First guest in my new flat.
A lovely new flat, should we say the least.
Yay.
Everyone comment down below if you want a room tour.
I was about to say, like, I might do a flat tour at some point, once it's all tidy and nice.
If you'd like to see a poster hanging off a telly.
Yeah,
empty light boxes. Like down below.
It's really cute at the moment, what can I say? We're going to try and film a couple of videos today, and one of them, this one currently that you're watching, is going to be one of, I don't want to officially call it like a series, but it's going to be like the top 10 videos that I mentioned in the video that I did with Sam, which feels like ages ago now. And I thought it'd be really fun to get Shaun along for this one because it's not like a really positive one. And I was thinking if anyone's going to join me, yeah, if anyone's going to join me on being a little bit shady about musical theatre, it's got to be Shaun.
I know how to do it. I know how to be shady.
Yeah. So today we are going to share 10 of the musicals that we have not liked. I'm going to put hate in the title purely for the clickbait.
I do hate. Rukaya's going to politely say she didn't like.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at our list quickly. I really hated.
That's fair.
I hated all 5 of mine, and I hated 2 of yours, and one of them I didn't see, but I probably would have hated it too. That's why I didn't see it. So I definitely hated a lot of the shows that are in this video. I
mean, obviously, don't hate on us for hating these shows.
No, and I think it's an important disclaimer to make as well that while we didn't enjoy the show so much, nay hate, that isn't to say we didn't appreciate some elements, which I'm sure we'll go over as we go along.
Yeah, and it's obviously no hate to like the people in the shows, or even like the creative teams. It's just literally the show itself.
None of my options, looking down the list, actually one of them was, 4 of them of my ones, and none of the ones that I've seen of your list I hated because of the cast or the people that worked on the production. It was actually just of the show itself that I did not enjoy.
So we're not hating on people, full disclaimer, or full disclosure as they say in the Addams Family. We're not hating on the people, we're just hating on...
It's a small world. I've been singing that song all day.
Yeah.
That's in my head. That wasn't what you said though. So.
No. Totally different, but it's in your head, so may as well get it out. So anyway, I offered Shaun that he could start us off, but he wants me to.
I have no idea what Rukaya wants to say per show, so I'm going to let her start and
then,
I'm going to
see what happens.
Follow by example.
Yeah,
so.
Copy the format. Yeah. We've obviously picked 5 each to make 10. That makes sense. I said this to Shaun last night. It's quite nice that we struggled to think
and we definitely
of
overlap.
Shows. Yeah.
Like if I was to do 10, I would have overlapped with yours.
Yeah,
eventually.
Exactly. And we wanted to make it actually. And
I would have got to the point where I was just doing like, I mean, one of my options was like once I didn't like it the second time I saw it. Just I didn't like it twice over, and that I would have had to put that. Like it got to the point where it's that kind of thing. But if you'd only seen it once, I wouldn't have known about it. So it got to the I couldn't really do 10 that I genuinely didn't like.
Which I think is very nice that we couldn't. It was like a struggle to think of even just 5 we feel passionate dislike towards. Also, we aren't going in like an order. We're just kind of throwing shows out there. So this is 10, but not in an order. All disclaimers aside, let's actually start with the list. I am starting off with Chicago. I saw this on Broadway in 2015.
Sinful. What a horrible way to start the video.
I'm sorry. I saw this because we wanted, my friend and I, who, she's not as big a stagey person as I am, she's not really at all, to be honest, and I dragged her to 4 Broadway shows, bless her heart. We were thinking, like, what should we see? I wanted, obviously, to see something that she would have, like, picked more than I did, and Chicago's one of the ones that she just said. They have rush seats, so I think we only paid, like, $37 for it, but the seats weren't great, and I think that kind of affected the whole experience for me. We were like 2nd row of the mezz and the leg room.
We've said that before, that bad seating. When we saw like half a sixpence when you saw it for the first time, it really does affect the experience you have of the show.
Absolutely. Someone actually asked on Twitter post Q&A, in the comments, they asked, would you rather see, this is off topic, but would you rather see a show that you absolutely loved in the worst seats, or see a show that you hated in the absolute best seats? And in that context of it being a show you already love, I said I'd rather see the show that I love.
But if you didn't know...
seats. But if I didn't know it, obviously I'd rather be in the best seats. But yeah, this didn't help. Obviously we'd got the rush tickets in the morning, so I was probably tired as well, which didn't help. And then the production, to me, it just felt... I know it's an old show in terms of like how long it's been on Broadway, but it just felt so dated. Yeah, so dated to me, and I just didn't massively enjoy it. It was kind of fun to see what's her name, Rumor Willis. She was I've forgotten her name. What's the character? Roxy?
I have no idea.
The younger
right,
one?
sorry, I thought you meant who she is otherwise.
No,
yeah, Roxy.
Yeah, she was playing Roxy. She was quite good. I liked seeing her.
Who is she?
Stage.
Like, what's she done before?
I remember watching her, I think, in like 90210 or something.
Oh, right. Oh, okay, she's one of those kind of people. Okay.
Yeah, I think, I can't remember. She must obviously be a bit stage trained as well. I think she has done a few plays and stuff. That's the only thing I really know her from. But yeah, so that was fun. But as I say, I didn't like the show.
Yeah, well, fair enough. I personally really enjoyed Chicago. Yeah. I've seen it 3 times now, I think, that production, in different entities. I really enjoyed that show, but I agree that it's dated, so I'll agree with that majorly. And it's an interesting production, because it was originally one of the, you know, the New York City centres, they do like 3-day runs every now and then of revival shows. Yeah. It was one of those that then transferred, and has since been there for whatever is 20 years now, I think, this year, or maybe 21 now. So it is quite minimal.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting with those long-running shows and how they age. I've never really thought about that too much until right this second, and now I'm like...
Yeah,
but obviously you get shows like here in London, like, for example, like Phantom and Les Mis, and like, it's just amazing that there's not really been any changes to them.
Yeah, but they still last.
But yeah.
I'm going to change my order now, because I'm going to go into one of mine, which links into the point you're making about this.
Go for it.
A show that I didn't enjoy, which I saw near the end of its run in March, looking at the list, 2014, was We Will Rock You. I did not enjoy it very much at all.
Did you only see it once?
I only saw it once. I only saw it that one time.
Was there something more important than our video, Shaun?
So I saw the show in March 2014, and it was the first time I saw it, the only time I saw it. And I actually had a big interest in seeing it, A, because it was closing, and because it had such a long run, and at that point when I hadn't seen everything, nay, most things, on the West End, I tried to catch up with things by seeing just as they closed, so I could make sure I still had the opportunity to see everything. So then it announced closure, so I was like, okay, we'll go. I think it was just after my birthday. So it was my grandma for my birthday kind of time, and We Will Rock You's been We Will Rock You, Queen has been a part of my family. We have affiliation with it like through all my life. So I was intrigued to go and see the show and see how it went along. And my one big kind of gripe with the show, is a great word to use.
I was just thinking the
One
same
big
word.
gripe with the show was how aged it felt. I can't describe it much more than, imagine you go to the seaside and you see like a seaside attractions and terraces, and you know they like fade the paint and it looks like it's been there a long time. That's exactly the vibe I got from the show. I remember they do, is it Radio Gaga where they come forward on those steps?
Yeah.
That to me felt so dated, and it really reminded me of the kind of things of like clunky old Star Trek. And I know it's supposed to feel like that.
Yeah.
But there was something about it, it's such a big show, has so much power to it, it felt inappropriate for it to rub up. If it was a smaller scale show and it was still like that, it would kind of feel retro in a way. But if you think about shows like Xanadu, I mean, there was a recent London run of that as well. So if you think about the design of something like Xanadu, if not, Google the design of it. That's kind of like modern futuristic of that style, kind of like what people in the 50s thought 2017 would look like. Yeah. And it kind of works because it kind of has vibrant colours and it's very poppy. Whereas this one just felt like we haven't changed our costumes or set in 20 years. Or was it only 12? I can't remember how long it ran. 12 years maybe? 12, but you know what I mean, it hasn't changed since the 90s either way. Or the early noughties, whenever it started running. So I had a problem with it in that sense. And I also just don't... It was just one of those jukebox musicals that to me did not ring amazing. Like, I liked the music, the performers were fantastic, everyone was extremely talented, needless to say. But I will never get out of my head the vision of them coming forward at the Radio Gaga time and it just feeling like, oh, like, you could have updated this a little bit. So that totally detracted from the show for me, in my opinion. And it just, I don't know, there was just something about the vibe of it that really didn't ring well with me.
That's fair enough. I respect your opinion.
Thanks very much.
I think it helps that when I first saw We Were Rock You, it was when I wasn't like a huge theatre fan yet. Also, my mum loved Queen as well, so obviously I was well excited to go and see it, for her to see it as well. And then the second time I saw it was the closing performance. So obviously the atmosphere
was electric, especially a show like that with such a huge fan following behind it, and the bits and bobs.
And obviously, as I said in the Q&A video, like, we had the standing tickets, so we were at the back, but we were able to just like dance along through the whole show and not interrupt anyone, like, so that was
nice.
Again, different experiences and atmospheres can totally affect the show.
Yeah, definitely, especially things with closing performances. I think you said in the Q&A video actually you did recently about rather go to an opening or a closing. If you go to either performance, the vibe is insane. Maybe not opening night, like press night, is very different to a first preview. I think when I saw Dreamgirls at the first preview, that was insane. I remember there were 5-minute long applauses all the time. There were 6 standing ovations that night.
That's
just at random numbers throughout the show. I remember, I think it's in Stepping to the Bad Side where the girls like appear at the back and they come marching forward, which is just such an iconic moment in the film and I think in the original stage show. Then that happened, everyone's up on their feet and everyone's like, yeah, it's amazing. So it was such a nice vibe, and especially for people who, like, I really love the show anyway. So it's nice to have that kind of experience. I mean, there hasn't been a closing performance yet, so I can't comment on it from that perspective. But when I think about closing performances of things like... I've seen a lot, actually, of closing performances, but none of them are coming to mind. The first one I think is Bend Like Beckham. That's completely inappropriate. Which is the one I want. There wasn't like a long run that I saw the closing performance of. I saw like the final performance of...
You saw it in the Heights, but I'm not going to mention that.
Oh, Billy Elliot.
Oh, Billy Elliot.
I saw the final performance of Billy Elliot. Wow, I can't forget that. That's such like an iconic performance to go and see.
Ago, though, so
I saw the final performance of Billy Elliot, and of course, that was actually the only second time I've seen it, because I had never seen the show before. We're on such a tangent. I'd never seen the show before maybe 3 or 4 weeks before that.
Oh, wow. So you saw it like right at the
I'd seen the screening before I actually saw the stage musical. I don't know why. It was probably because, I mean, I'd always liked shows, and Billy Elliot was one that I was always kind of intrigued by, but I didn't... You know, when something has a long run, if you like haven't seen Wicked, you wouldn't rush to see it unless you really wanted to, because you're like, it's going to be running. So I never considered it, and then it wasn't until... I'd only been... I mean, it closed, what, a year ago? Was it last year?
So
I'd only started really solo theatre going for about a year and a bit before, and of course with that I was just trying to keep up with everything that had short runs and limited runs. So long runs I was like, you can wait, and it was actually the only show with a long run that I hadn't seen yet. I mean, I'd seen all the other ones when I was younger, so they're the kind of first thing you see. So I saw it quickly then when it announced closure, and then I booked tickets for the final performance as well at the same time, so I had 2 performances of it lined up. So I'd only seen it recently before, but to be in the vibe of everyone there, and of course it was one that I was well attended by like previous cast members, you saw all the old Billies around. I didn't know any of them really. But seeing them around, you can kind of tell which ones are which, because people kind of recognise them. So it was a really nice performance actually to go to and feel that vibe, and it was actually a very different performance. I don't think it was filmed. No, it wasn't, because they filmed another performance.
Filmed it properly.
But they did Tag Team Billy, I think they called it, which was amazing to watch, because they did different Billies come in and swap, and when they did like... I can't remember the moment exactly, but I think it's when they said goodbye to Mrs. Wilkinson and they had the boys tag team in as like a line of 4, and oh my gosh, I actually cried. Even I felt attached to it sentimentally. And then Electricity, they all did Electricity and they all tag team. Oh, it was just incredible.
That sounds
I'm like, oh, it was a performance I was so glad to have seen. Because I really love the show anyway, and I'd seen the recording many times from the year before, but it was really fantastic. So anyway, sorry to go off on a tangent, but the idea of changing vibes depending on where you are, looking back at what Rock You really does affect it. That was such a long time.
16 minutes in, only done 2 shows.
8 to go.
It's alright. Okay, for my next show, I'm going to say Let's go for Exposure, because I feel like I won't talk about that for too long.
We're doing such differing opinions.
Yeah. I saw Exposure, the musical, at the St James Theatre, which is now the Other Palace. And I'd seen like a bit of the synopsis for this show before seeing it. Like, I remember when it was like announced and I was like, oh, that sounds like something I would really enjoy. And then when it came to actually watching it, I don't know what happened, but it was absolutely not what I was expecting that they would do with the show. And I mean, I can't remember, it was a while ago now, but it wasn't very well received.
No.
Overall, was it? Which is such a shame, because generally at that theatre they produce like good shows.
You say that, I've actually never seen a show I really enjoyed there.
Oh well, I do. So
you do. You go there a lot. You go a lot more than I do.
I really like it.
I've only seen that. I saw the production of The Last 5 Years, which is one of my options of a show that I love. The Last 5 Years.
Yeah.
Like one of my top 10 favourite shows of all time. That production I hated. I mean, we saw Heather's and we really enjoyed that. But I've always struggled with the Other Palace, St James.
That's fine.
But I was just kind of chirping in on your
That's
point there,
okay.
because I totally agree that it was a awful show. We actually have a great relationship with the show, because I only saw the show after I discovered you on YouTube, and I didn't know you. We weren't friends. And I watched your video, and you said it was awful, and you.
I don't think I said that in the video. I'm not that savage, but I implied it. Like,
so, I watched your video, and I'd heard about the show before. I hadn't paid any attention, and it was like sponsored by Getty Images, and I was like, what the hell are they doing sponsoring a show? This is weird.
Yeah, it was.
And then you said it was really bad. So that's when we went for my walking tour.
Yeah.
I saw it that night, because that was the night I was with my friends Em and Meg, and then my friend, and then Ellie, obviously, our friend Ellie from Plymouth. She was up, so we were like, let's go and see this show, cheap tickets, went along, and it was one of those nights where the show was so bad. Like, I think it might be the worst show ever written. It probably is the worst musical I've ever seen in my life, but it was so unbelievably bad that we were laughing that I walked out, and I think I texted you and I said to you, that was the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, you were like, I loved it.
That was the most fun night I've ever had. It was so bad, but not even like laugh at them bad. I felt like the people on stage also knew it was bad.
Yeah.
And I felt like we were all laughing together at this abysmal piece of musical theatre. I mean, there's a song that's the 7 Circles of Hell.
And it really felt like
and it was weird. Like, you know, you watch something, you're like, what happens? Like, they're taking photos, and then all of a sudden they cut to like going to hell, and you're like, wait, what is going on? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
There's no story to it. It's just loads of weird music, and I had the best time of my life. And I remember I wrote in my review afterwards, this show is so bad, you need to see it. And I feel like the St James Theatre actually retweeted my review, and I was like, this is so bad, you need to see it. Final 2 weeks, and I think I got 8 messages.
Yeah,
I think 2 of the people I knew, and the rest of people on Twitter saying, I went to see the show on your recommendation, I totally agree. It was so bad, I loved it. One person I know actually went to go and see it on the final performance, because I said it was so bad, it was funny, you have to go. And they bought the album, they're selling a cast album. And I need to ask if I can borrow it, because it's not on Spotify. And I need to hear that awful, because I still quote it, sing the songs with friends all the time. It's so bad. So Exposure, in my opinion, is one of the best shows ever made, but is technically probably the worst.
Yeah. And it's funny, isn't it, how you'll read like a 1-star review or something and you're like, oh my god, I have to see this just to see how bad it is.
It was so unbelievably
bad. I think because in my head I thought it was going to be something that I would actually enjoy. Like, obviously I love photography and things like that, so I was like, surely photography and musical theatre,
it's like your dream show.
This has got to go well, and it just didn't. So yeah, what's your next one?
My next one, I'm going to go from the top of the list now that I made originally. My next show is Blood Brothers. Blood Brothers, do you like Blood Brothers?
I saw it on tour years ago. London Live. Yeah, I saw it on tour at Milton Keynes Theatre. Again, this was like when I'd only just started getting into theatre, so I didn't hate it. I remember like...
When did you see it on tour at MK Theatre?
It would have been like I think 2012? Yeah, probably 2012.
Oh, it wasn't 2010, because that's when I saw it at MK Theatre.
Oh, it did go through a stage of touring a lot, didn't it?
I think it did a lot.
Yeah.
I saw it the first time. It was the third show I actually ever saw. It was after Hairspray and Oliver. The third show I saw was a school trip to Blood Brothers. And funny story about how I went on it, which kind of makes it kind of... The first time I actually kind of enjoyed it. So this in year 10, I think it was the year 10 students, they studied the play as their GCSE set text. And I thought, oh, I'll get ahead and I'll do it. And I was in year 7. And it was the first week I joined.
Oh, you are so cute.
So they had a spare ticket. And I was like, oh. So I go along on this school trip. Because I was like, oh, brilliant. Get to go to theatre. Because our school did a lot of theatre trips. So if you just paid, obviously, whatever it was, £27, you got your ticket in the coach fare. And you just had to get to school. Brilliant. So I went along. to the show with all the year 11s or 10s, who I knew most of them because they're our buddy years, you know, they buddied up with you when you did that. Cute, and of course a lot of them performing arts students anyway, so they're all on the trip, so it was quite nice.
Generally nice.
And made some new really good friends actually. Actually, the trip did bring a lot of my school life into me anyway. So I went on this trip and I was like, amazing, my first like big school trip at school. And I saw the show at MK Theatre in 2010, and then I saw it again in 2011, the 25th anniversary year I think it was, in London at the Phoenix, with that year group's year 11. I did the same thing again. I took the spare ticket because I was like, I might as well get the most of my studying in to get it to learn on like set text at GCSE. Also, context wasn't our set text at GCSE. Naturally, of course, the course got changed in time. But yeah, so I saw the show. I fundamentally enjoyed it, I think, the first time. By the second time, there's just something about it I hate. I can't even describe to you what I don't like about it. I think the music's kind of fine. I think the story's interesting. There's something eerie about it, and the eeriness is just kind of dated eeriness. I think it's the datedness again. I think to me Blood Brothers felt dated, and I know it's supposed to obviously be set in the 60s or whenever. Is it set in the 60s or the 50s? I think
so. I'm just trying to think now. I'm like,
or the 40s, or the 30s. I feel like
it's like the 50s, 60s.
I feel like it's late 50s.
I genuinely like can't really remember what happens in the show now. Like I can picture scenes so clearly in my head. You're gonna have to tell me afterwards, or I'm gonna have to Google it because it's gonna annoy me.
It's a pretty simple story. I can tell you afterwards. I remember the story.
Yeah, tell me.
But yeah, I just remember thinking it was, I don't know, there was something about it I've left it and I don't like it. And the more that it's festered on my brain, I've really not enjoyed it. And my friends don't enjoy it either, so in
Do you think
group,
this is one of the reasons why you don't repeat see shows quite often?
Yeah, because I end up getting, my opinion changes when time changes. You like something on the
first time and then it seems like...
As I get further away from a show, I normally don't like it as much. And then seeing it a second time, the more times I see it, I like it less and less. And this is like the same about like, it's actually one like a bit like Lady Day and Dreamgirls. These shows come in and I'm like, I'm going to see them 10 times. Yeah, and I've seen Lady Girl twice, Lady Day. I've got Dreamgirls and Lady Girl mixed up. I've seen Lady Day twice now, and as much as I love Audra, I don't think I could see the show a third time. I will see it a third time. I'll definitely see it a third time because I need to get the programme because I'm in the programme.
Yeah, that's true.
So I need to get a programme, so I need to go back. But I don't know. It's just the more I see a show, the more I'm like, okay, all right. It's like I've never rewatched a TV show, but I have friends who rewatch like TV shows on loop. I just can't rewatch things. I don't think too many times before I mean, I couldn't do Wicked like you do. I mean, blimmin' egg, I couldn't see that. I really would. You couldn't pay me to do it.
Imagine if I'd put Wicked on this list.
I don't really like it. I just go out of obligation.
I just go.
But yeah, I think it's rewatching that gets me a bit pained. No, because I saw that twice, and the second time I saw it, I was like, nah. So,
I just thought that about you as you were saying it, and I was like, that's quite interesting.
And then Dreamgirls I've seen 6 times now, I think. Yeah. Which is a lot of times. I saw them all in quick succession. Yeah. And as much as I love Dreamgirls, and I could actually not see it for a few months. I've taken a break from seeing it. I could happily see it another 10 times if people wanted to pay me to go and see it. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I'll see other things.
I need to go and see Amber, so if you want to try and come and see her with me.
I'm always up for a return Dreamgirls. Yeah. I just love Dreamgirls, but that's different because I've loved Dreamgirls for years. So to me, go and see that's just like enjoying something I've always loved. Whereas seeing like Lady Day, it's just for a bit of order.
I think Lady Day is it would be quite a difficult show to see a lot.
The second time I actually saw it with you, it was actually kind of boring is the wrong word, but when you know what's coming next, and there's not much to come next, it's a bit like I'm just watching Audra sing now. And it's not like
lots of different things.
Yeah, the songs are all extremely similar by nature. Yeah, that's just Billie Holiday's music. It's all very similar blues music. And the story doesn't progress very far, and it's only in one setting. So if you see it twice, even for a third time, I'm sure you end up sitting there like, okay, well, I've seen this before. I'm just waiting for her to sing the iconic songs that I really like and move on. So, but yes, Blood Brothers is another one that I found tricky to like all this time.
Next, I'm going to say Bat Out of Hell, which I recently saw at the London Coliseum, and I should have done this one after you said We Will Rock You, really, because I felt like that was a very similar sort of
vibe
ilk to We Will Rock You.
I haven't seen Bat Out of Hell, by the way. I've for this reason, because I thought I would not enjoy it because of the vibe.
So as I mentioned, if you saw my vlog of seeing that show, which actually got like over 1,000 views, which is quite upsetting.
I guess it's one of those shows that has a fan following. People like
absolutely. So I'm not massively familiar with like Meatloaf, and I can't remember what the guy's name is because they were like a collaborative team on writing this. Obviously knew a couple of the songs, just like the really big ones like I'd Do Anything for Love and I can't remember what the other ones are. It was the story of that show that bugged me the most, and I was like fine with it until it reached a point in Act 2, like there was a death, and I was like, what the hell? Why? Because the character that died, I mean, the show's closing now, I was about to say spoiler, but the character that died basically got no sort of real stage time in terms of me getting to feel sorry for them then dying. Like, they were just acting like a brat of a character. So when they died, I was like, well, fine, okay. Like, didn't feel any sympathy or anything. And then from that, I was just thinking, this story is basically just like Peter Pan. And I was talking to a colleague about it the other day, and we were saying it's kind of like, what was the other show or story? Romeo and Juliet. Like, the main love interest of that is very Romeo and Juliet-esque, and then Peter Pan elements. And I was like, if you're going to borrow like story plots, like, make it good. Yeah. Like, if you're not going to write something that's actually really original, you can't copy and it be rubbish. Yeah. Still.
You got much of an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. And the sets were amazing. Like, and obviously the cast were doing so much. The cast were really good, but it was just that really annoyed me. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because I already got a bit of hate for my opinions about them. Yeah, there's some really funny comments from the stands of Battle of Hell.
Well, I guess it's one of those things that has huge fans. Yeah. If you disagree with.
And it's funny because they're all like older people, and I'm like, really, you're just searching for
things to spew hate comment on.
Yeah.
Well, you'll know that because there'll be comments down below.
Yeah, and someone re-uploaded that vlog, like someone really random. Did you not see my tweet about it? Someone commented on the vlog saying like, oh, it looks like someone's just like stolen your vlog. And they've like taken it, the sound is all weird, they've done something to the sound, and like some clips like freeze before they play, and then they've tacked on an extra bit on the end to make it a longer video.
Of what?
Like, it's just of me again, like they've just cut out a bit of me talking at the end, and like, I'll send it to you later. Is it? It's like one of those, you know, like it happened to Sam recently.
Oh, it's like a spammy.
So something like that, and they've got a couple of other Bat Out of Hell related videos as well, but then like loads of other random things.
That's weird.
And I'm like, what? Like, why have you gone to this effort to take someone's video and re-upload it? And I was amazed that this person found it, because I was like, oh, thank you so much for letting me know, but it had only gone up like the day before.
Yeah, how would you find it? Maybe it was recommended.
Maybe, and like also it happened to Sam, and someone else noticed and told her about it.
That's so weird.
So yeah, maybe it'll get taken down.
It's funny to think that unless it's a computer bot that does it,
maybe
people actually have sat at home
so sad.
to spam it, or not like even like that's like they're like it's my content. It's just a weird thing to do, like because that kind of when it's edited and manipulated in a weird way that's like unwatchable. Yeah. No one's going to watch it anyway. Like, no one's going to watch it in the first place. What a weird thing to spend your time doing. To download a video, I'll just remove that clip here, extend that bit and upload it to 2 people. And then, like, for no reason. It's such a weird thing to do. It annoyed
me as well, because if you're going to steal someone's content to re-upload, like, at least just make it the same thing.
At least steal a good one.
Because I'm like, oh, the sound sounds horrible on it. Like, you know when you listen to something and it's only coming through on one headphone? That's when I was talking about the people stealing my video.
Oh my god, was that long ago?
It wasn't that long ago.
I did any Joseph?
Yeah, sorry, you're going to have to do it all again.
Okay. I can't say after shite again, it's not going to have the same effect.
You can do, I'll still laugh.
Okay.
The camera cut out, sincerest apologies.
And I really was on one about my
show. But we're going to just, basically, someone stole my Bat Out of Hell video and it's annoying, but whatever. Shaun, your next show.
I'm going to go on now with my least favourite show of all time, which was anticlimactic now, because I've already shared it with
I'm still excited to hear it again.
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
This is not my
shock horror. Who knew? I saw the show. It was the 5th show I ever saw. I saw it in 2010 on tour. It was one of the first shows that came to our new HEG theatre. It was built where I live, and I went with my dad because my grandma was ill that day, and she wanted to go and see it because she loves Joseph. God knows why. And I saw it, and as I said before, the only way I can describe this show is I think it is utter shite. I think everything about this show is abysmal. I think the music is insufferable. I think the dialogue is incomprehensibly poor. Like, I think everything about it is rubbish. I hate it with all of my heart. You could not pay me to see the show ever again. I would sooner see...
you a lot, though.
Well, I mean, maybe, but I'll fall asleep with it.
Yeah.
Like, I'll make sure I'm asleep through it.
Take a sleeping pill.
Painful. Best part about the story, and you were telling the story about owning the VHS. I actually do own it on DVD and VHS, and I've never got rid of it. Don't know why.
Yeah. It's just one of the...
But I hate it. I can't comprehend ever watching it again. But I think it's rubbish. Like, I can't tell you how much I hate it. And it's no reason more than I just don't like it.
It's crap.
I just think it's rubbish. And I know so many people that like it. It's just me thinks it's rubbish. I'm sure everyone will comment saying, how can you hate it?
I just hate it. Because for me, as I was saying before, camera stopped recording, god damn it. I watched it when I was a kid loads because my nan had a VHS of it. So when I'd go around after school or whatever, I'd watch it and it was just, I just loved it. But as I was saying before, it's because of like how almost like tacky and cheesy it is, like with all those rubbish sets and the cheesy shots of them going through the school hall and stuff, and I bloody loved it as a kid. I think that's probably why a lot of people love it, just because it sort of reminds you of your childhood and watching it then. Yeah. I think it's probably more of a nostalgia
I didn't have a connection to it from before when I saw it, so I never had some sort of nostalgia.
But I think if I saw it on stage, I'd probably think it was...
Having said that, in the history of the show, it was written for a primary school load of children. Yeah. And then was adapted into a full stage show, the West End, for some... I mean, when you think a show started at the primary school, was written for 5-year-olds, don't take it to the West End. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Like, a tour is a good idea, I think, because then families can sort of more easily go to it.
But then it has all these... And they're thinking of reviving it again soon, I think, so...
Oh, if they do, I'll go see it.
I will go and see it. Yeah. I will fully go and see it, just to go and experience it. And I bet I'll see it, and I'll be like, I actually love it now. Yeah. But when I saw it that one time before, I've never got in my head how much I hated it.
Change your opinion on it.
So, that was my least favourite show. And before that, I was just thinking the other day, because I was watching... a video, it was a Q&A video with a booktube person, can't remember who it was, and someone asked them a question in their Q&A and said, what was your least favourite show before your least favourite show?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because you had to have one before that one. Yeah. And I was thinking when I first wrote the list about Joseph, I don't think I had a least favourite show before Joseph.
Well, no, because you hadn't really seen a lot before Joseph.
No, and I had no show, I didn't bother listening to a show if I didn't like it, so... all the shows I listened to and knew
That's a good question.
I liked. So I don't think I had one before that. But posing the question to you now quickly while we're in the middle of the video. What is your least favourite show now? Have you said it so far?
See, it's really hard to just pick one show that you're like, no, like that was horrible.
I mean, I don't. I think it's Joseph, but... I think Joseph is the worst show ever written, but... Or exposure.
I'd say possibly maybe this one.
Yeah.
I think.
Really? Okay, well, when it comes to that, I have comments. I have redeeming comments for that show. Okay. I didn't enjoy it either, but I have redeeming comments.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to go on to my next one, and then I'm going to save that one for last. So my next one I'm going to say is Aladdin. And I didn't hate Aladdin, but I didn't, rate it. If you saw the vlog of me going to the show, you'll know that I didn't really have the best setup to go and see Aladdin. Like, I'd won the lottery for it, so I had a good seat. But,
I'm in that vlog, everyone.
Yeah, very briefly, yeah.
Very brief, Anthony.
But because I had a massive nosebleed before the show, looking back on it now, I don't think I realised just how
I was going through our messages on Facebook the other day. Rukaya sent me a picture of that when she had that nosebleed, and I was only going through it earlier on because I was looking for something. I can't remember what it was. I think it was when I got my new phone, and I was looking for the photos of the photos you took me ages ago, and I was like, I need to save one quickly to my phone so I could use it as something. I don't know. I need it for something. And then I went through and I saw the picture and I was like, oh, it's a nosebleed. So it was in my head the other day. I
mean, not to be gross, but it was like a full-on blood clot came out of my nose. It was grim. But it looked like something from the movie Flubber. Is that what's called?
That was Flubber, yeah.
So I was like, I had to take a photo because I just had to. Anyway, I think because I don't really have nosebleeds. I've not had one for like years before that, and this was like a really bad one. Now, as I said, I don't think I realised like how weary I was from that, because I just not to be dramatic or anything, but like I think I did lose quite a lot of blood from that, and
that was a lot.
Obviously, it was like the shock of it as well. Like I just didn't. It was weird because, as I said in the start of
I'm just thinking about. I can see it. And look at your nose, like how did it come out of there? I look at your nose like it can't come out with that.
It did, I promise you. But it's funny because when I saw the Glass Menagerie in the afternoon, it's weird.
I'm going to tweet a picture of it.
No, at one point, no, that'd be gross.
Insert a picture
it's like
here.
Not safe for work. Like.
No, it's definitely. It's one of those things. If you don't have like the settings off on Twitter, it'll be like, please press yes if you want to see the series.
Like it is graphic content essentially. But before the Glass Menagerie that I saw in the afternoon, I thought I was like, I feel like I'm going to have a nosebleed. Like I don't know. I just had a feeling, and then obviously. Thankfully, it waited until after the show, at least, to then it happened. And, I think I was just kind of a bit emotional from that. Because I don't know why. It was just, like, all the shock of it. And then, went into Aladdin and just wasn't massively impressed. As I said in the vlog, it just felt like a very expensive pantomime.
I agreed entirely.
And I work at a ticket booth, so when I get people coming up to me and first thing I want to do is see Aladdin and they're happy to buy tickets at like over £100, like that just kind of makes me angry. And I'm like,
that was my opinion.
Money,
it's an expensive pantomime.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. But I'm not the biggest fan of the Aladdin movie. It's not one of my favourite Disney movies.
It's not one of my top favourite.
I don't dislike it, but
I love how they did like the magic. I love the effects of it. But
design-wise, brilliant, and that's why it was only Olivier nomination was for set design.
Yeah.
And it was definitely well worthy of that. It was fantastically produced, and I personally really enjoyed the cast. I think it was. Yeah. I think it was you that was it. You that wasn't the biggest fan of whoever played Jasmine. I can't remember who it used to be. Jade Ewan. Yeah. I really liked her actually. I really enjoyed her. I didn't like Dean John Wilson as Aladdin very much.
I had someone else.
I just didn't like the tone of his voice. It kind of grated on me. Yeah. Other than that, I thought the cast was fantastic.
The only moment it was
just the show itself that went down for me.
The only moment I really, really enjoyed was the magic carpet scene.
Having said that,
and the genie.
Aladdin as a show aimed at kids. I mean, the Lion King. I mean, they know the Lion King works for kids. The Lion King is essentially an all ages production in my head. You could easily advertise it as like an 11 PM performance for adults.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And it would be still a very classy theatre experience because of the way it's staged by. Is it Diane Paulus? No, it's not.
I can't remember. Been a long.
Julie Taymor. Julie Taymor. She directed that, not Diane Paulus. They look kind of similar in my head. They're not that similar looking at all. But in my head, they look really similar. No, that's what I was going to say. No. Oh, that's it. It worked really obviously successfully well with children. Yeah. The Lion King, so obviously they played on that with other things like The Little Mermaid, Tarzan, which I'm desperate to see somehow.
I'd love to see Tarzan.
Because the stage version of Tarzan, if you watch the trailer on YouTube, if you just search in another tab or after this video, the trailer for Tarzan is stunning. The way they've kind of executed walking across hills up against a wall. It looks amazing. So that's another one that's a bit Lion King-esque in the sense of.
I'm really shocked that actually Tarzan hasn't been like. I would have rather had Tarzan instead of Aladdin.
I would have rather had The Little Mermaid. I know it's a kiddie production, kiddie in the sense of same level of Aladdin. They're definitely the same child's demographic they aimed for with it. I mean, they're all child's demographic, but they really aim for children with those successfully. So, I would think I would have really liked to have seen The Little Mermaid because I love The Little Mermaid, but I also would love to see Beauty and the Beast because I'm too young. Yeah, I'm too young for that. I said too old for that. Wrong way. Too young for that. And Beauty and the Beast is my favourite Disney film. So I'd love to see the stage show of that, and I'd also love to see Frozen.
Oh my god.
I'm not the biggest Frozen film fan. Even when I saw the film, I think I saw the film on one of those early preview screenings. I did.
I've not watched it. That's so hard not
I've actually seen a lot of people tweeting like, it's so sad to ruin the magic. In my head, I'm like, girl, I'm waiting for ages to see the show. I'm just going to watch it.
Because for you now, you're probably more buzzing to see it.
Yeah, I am. So. And I didn't love the film. I saw the film in like you know, because the Disney films in the UK are released like 6 weeks after America, and they do like a preview screening like one Sunday, just like 4 weeks before or something. So I went to one of those, and I was like, oh, I don't mind it, it's all right. And then of course it became really famous, and I was like, okay, actually, like, when you watch it more, you see it in context of that, you're like, it's actually really not worth the hype that much in my head. I think there are other better Disney films. The hype was really intense.
It got annoying.
And then now I've seen the musical coming out, and I'm like, actually, I'm really excited.
And they have tweaked a lot of things for the musical, I've heard.
Yeah, I've seen lots of
I think they've added a lot more.
The song list is very different. Like, Let It Go is the interval number, opens with a different number, and there's like a whole act of songs before. I think it's mostly sung through. Yeah. There's a lot of songs anyway. There's like, must be 25 songs in it. So it's a heavy on music, which is good, because to me the film was very light on music.
Yeah, it was.
Because all the music happens in the first 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Because Let It Go is 35-40 minutes in, and then you have loads of talking until you just have In Summer and...
Yeah, what's the other one?
Fixer Upper, which is not in the stage show. Or if it is in the stage show, I think they changed... No, there's not trolls. They're like little gargoyles, I think, or trolls. Not Anna Kendrick, Justin Timberlake trolls.
Yeah.
Wrong film. But...
Can you imagine just a cameo? They probably would do something like that in like the end credits.
Have you seen the Trolls movie?
I don't think so. I have, no.
Good movie.
I'll watch it at some
point. I love Trolls. They don't look like the Trolls. You know, they don't look like troll dolls to me at all. But the Trolls movie's great.
How many times did you say troll in like the last 30 seconds? Troll.
I love Trolls. I love the troll that stole your Bat Out of Hell video.
Oh my god. What a troll.
All the trolls commenting down below saying we're stupid for not liking Joseph. Well, she does. So.
I do. You can't hate
You can roast me if you like. Please keep roasting me. Yeah. Actually, give me a reason to like Joseph, please. Someone tell me, if you like it, tell me why.
Shaun.
I will not believe you. I won't be convinced by your opinion. You know when people say, like, everyone has their own opinion, but when you're like...
Yeah, but you're wrong.
Yeah, but you're right. Like, that's what it is like, yeah, but you're wrong. What am I doing? I'll say my next show.
Turn. Yeah.
Sorry, okay, right. Okay, my next one is, oh, I'm not ready now. I made myself giddy.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's have a drink.
My next least favourite show was a tour I saw in 2014, again at my local touring theatre. I think all of these are tours, apart from We Were Rock You.
Yeah.
They're actually all tours. You tell how much I like tours. It was the stage production of... the stage production of Fame. It is a reworking of the original stage production, modernised, 25 years later. Same music, same story, same characters, just 25 years later, really. And the idea is like, oh, it's 25 years later, but the story's still the same. It was kind of completely stupid to bother revamping it.
Yeah, why not?
And ironically, it felt really dated,
oh, God,
even though it had been modernised.
Yeah.
All my opinions on shows are because they're all dated, that's why I hate them. But I just didn't enjoy them. I never liked the music from the stage show before. I only went because I feel like a friend had a friend who worked at Stage Door at the time, and we got
cheapies,
either comps or dirt cheap, like £8 tickets. I mean, it was something really cheap, and we had nothing to do that Friday night. So I went and saw it. Yeah, I hated the music. I can barely remember it. I hated so much. I can't even visualise it. But I just didn't enjoy the story. I did not enjoy the music. I love the film.
Yeah.
And I love the television series, the original TV series, and the modern remake film is not that bad actually. I quite enjoyed that. But the stage show is completely different in story from what I remember, and the music just didn't ring with me. I have friends that it's one of their favourite musicals.
I don't know a lot of people that love it.
But I really... Well, it hasn't really been produced heavily recently, so it's all my dancer friends actually that really enjoy it, which is obviously appropriate. But yeah, I personally didn't think it was the best thing ever. You didn't see it?
No. I have no opinion on it.
I'd see another production of it. I didn't hate it enough to think like, I'll never see the show again. I'd see a production that's not this 25 years later one, and perhaps of a higher production value. It felt like when... It was a lot of like spray painted walls and weird street dancing, and you're like, no children are like this. Like, what kind of 40-year-old white man wrote this? Like, it was one of those kind of things. So
I have nothing.
I'm sure I'll be a 40-year-old white man one day, and I'll be writing that crap. But until then,
I'm not even gonna like. I was like, you're gonna change it to a 40-year-old black man.
Until I'm a 40-year-old black man.
My last one is gonna be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which I saw at Theatre Royal Drury Lane in 2015, I think.
I'm just playing with my hair in the background because all my hair is
alright, carry on playing. I saw this, I'm pretty sure, when was it? I think it might have been late 2015, I honestly can't remember. And a friend managed to get free tickets, and I'm not going to turn down a free ticket. I kind of went into the show thinking I'm probably not going to like this. You'd probably already see. Wait, we weren't even friends then.
No.
People that I knew had gone to see it and hadn't rated it, so I guess that's kind of a bad thing as well, going into a show already thinking you're not going to like it. Did the same with Aladdin, really. But yeah, had free tickets, and they were alright seats towards the back of the stalls, and I just thought it was absolutely rubbish. The story, the whole like structure of it, like they took so long to actually get into.
It's a story that didn't feel right the way they worked the interval. If it was a 1-act 2-hour piece maybe, which would be great for kids because kids won't sit through it.
Do it.
But it would probably work because I think the interval placing really hindered what they could do with the show. I mean,
I can't even remember how they finished Act 1.
Act 1 ended with them going into the factory. The whole first act was pre-factory. Which was such a drag. But having said that, I much prefer Act 1 to Act 2 of that show. I saw the show. I also, for context, did enjoy it. I've seen it twice. The first time I saw it was with my grandma for my birthday. I was going to go on a school trip. It was actually the only school trip my whole time I went there. That it was a theatre trip I didn't go on. I don't remember why. That my two best friends at the time went to go and see it. I say at the time, they're still my friends now. I say that. They went to go and see it. And they hated it. They saw it the first week of previews, and they didn't have the lift then. That's when they didn't have like, the elevator, and it was a really messy preview period. I remember it kept extending.
They really just shouldn't.
And they really did not enjoy the production.
I'm not surprised.
So I didn't have high hopes for it. Then I went. I think it was a year later. It was a long time later. I went. My friends were saying go and see it because they loved the music, and I really liked the music. The music's by Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman.
Sounds about right.
Scott Whitman, Mark Shaman.
I think so.
Mark Shaman, Scott Whitman, or Scott Whitman, Mark Shaman? No, it's Mark Shaman, Scott Whitman.
Yeah.
By the same people who did Hairspray, which I love, my first show I ever saw. So I really enjoyed the music actually, and listening to the London album. The Broadway album's actually different. They rewrote loads of the songs, and I don't like them as much. But the London album I really, really enjoyed a lot of them, especially Juicy, which is a song that Violet Beauregarde sings. If you've never heard any of the music, go listen to Juicy. That song will be in your head for weeks. It's such a good song. Actually, all the kids' songs are very good. Anyway, went to go see the show. Didn't enjoy it so much. Yeah. For the same reason as you. It felt very dragged out. It just kind of, it didn't sparkle for me. Yeah. It felt like a big expensive production, which it was. It was what I think it was Sam Gold directed, or was it someone else? Or Sam Mendes directed it. Yes, yeah. Who obviously is a huge film director as well. Yeah. And was Warner Brothers produced, so it had a lot of stuff behind it, but to me didn't ring anything special. And then I saw it a second time because I got a comp, and because at the time a friend said that I hadn't seen many shows of them before, so they wanted to go see more shows. So I was like, I've got comps to this, and I think you'd really enjoy it. And he'd only seen 3 shows before, 4, and I think 2 of them been with me anyway. So I was like, let's go and see the show then. And he absolutely loved it. Like, he thought it was fantastic. But I still was like, I really can't see this again. I can't suffer through it. I didn't enjoy it enough. I didn't hate it like you hated it, but I wouldn't have seen it again. I think it just disappointed me. It was disappointing. It was very disappointing. And
I was offered comps again for it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to go and see it again. And I think that says a lot when you're.
I wouldn't have gone unless my friend was like, I really want to see that. Yeah. It was like, I mentioned it. I was like, I got this, and they were like, yeah, I really want to see that. So I was like, okay, well, it doesn't cost me anything. Yeah. But if it was just you know, no +1, I'd be like, no, I really don't want to see it. Yeah. And I would not have seen it again time after that either. Yeah. I just don't know what else to say about it. I've honestly tried to block it out of my head, but now you've said about the London cast recording, I might give that a listen. The music is brilliant.
Because I probably would enjoy the music still, rather than... But there was just some really, like, when the squirrel thing happened.
Oh yeah, weird.
And I was like, what is going on? And they cut out like a really big song or something. I can't remember what it was now. But I was sat there like waiting for a song to happen. And then it just didn't, and I was like, oh, okay, why? And, oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, your last one is...
The last show. This is, in my opinion, though Joyce is my least favourite show, this is the worst production of a show I've ever seen. And this is the one that I said I even hated the performers. And I have no shame, I called them out, I think I called them out. It was embarrassing. It was the UK tour, of course, at my local theatre. Of Thriller in 2015. I'd never seen the show in London before that. I've never seen it since either, for obvious reasons. I'd never seen it in London before because it did not interest me. I've never been the biggest Michael Jackson fan, actually. I really like his music. And I really like his style. Of course, everyone does.
But not like one that you listen to.
But Michael Jackson is not... I'm not a Michael Jackson... I was never a Michael Jackson fan, per se. I like his music a lot, but just liked him. So I'd never interested. And I saw the tour when it came near because it was one of the final shows I hadn't seen. Yeah. So I was like, I need to tick it off, and seats were cheap, and my grandma wanted to go, so it kind of ticked the boxes. And I remember I sat next to my head of year by coincidence. Random. And she really enjoyed it. My grandma didn't, so at least we have the same opinion. Yeah. Anyway, the production itself was very much like probably what you didn't like about Chicago with its minimalism. Yeah. There's not much to it. There is no story to Thriller. Yeah, that's it is actually just a live concert of music. And it felt dated. The dancing felt dated. Everything about the dancers felt dated. And this performing was so bad. Oh, God. It was embarrassing. I felt uncomfortable for the performers. I remember one of the performers sang Dirty Diana. And I feel like, bless them, I think they might have been ill. Yeah. Because it was that bad. Like, I'd like to think they had were ill, tonsillitis. Like, something that level of bad because they could not sing. Like, it got to the point where they wouldn't even sing the words Dirty Diana because, you know, that song obviously goes up really high. They couldn't do it. So they just stopped singing it. And it was so a tour
as well, you don't really have understudies or anything, do you? So they probably had to do it.
And it was just, everyone was bad. And I don't mean to sound mean, but they just...
Isn't there a Michael Jackson song called Bad?
Yeah, there is. Which wasn't great. And yeah, it was just really amateurish.
Oh no.
And unenjoyable. And I'm sure if I saw it, I wouldn't even attempt to go and see it at the West End now. I think I got offered comps a few months ago and no way, I don't care.
I feel like I need, like, this is the thing, with shows that I'm sure that I won't enjoy, I feel like I just need to see it to sort of validate my opinion. Like the opinion that I have before even seeing it.
I'm glad I saw it to validate it, and now I can say I actually didn't like it like I thought I wouldn't. But my gosh, I feel like it was I might have to really unenjoyable, I thought.
I might have to try and get a comp somehow. So I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, test it. It's also really expensive.
Yeah.
I looked at the West End prices afterwards. I think it's one of those shows that starts like 30 quid.
Yeah.
I guess it's extremely popular with them.
And there's a lot of restricted
with tourists
as well.
I've never been in the Lyric because it's only ever shown that from in the West End.
That's the thing. People ask me at work, they're like, "What's the view like?" I'm like, "I don't know." Like,
what it's like in there? I can't imagine what it's like in there. I might come with you for
maybe if I can get some tickets.
I want to go and visit the Lyric Theatre. So
because I've never been in there. They've had a couple of like.
They always have side shows. They have like the Gruffalo.
Like on a Sunday.
They have kids shows on Sundays.
But I think didn't they also do like the Cool Rider thingy? Was that not at the Lyric? When they did like 2 shows of Cool Rider on a Sunday or something, or not a Sunday.
I only remember that show being at the Duchess, which was about 10 years ago now.
So no, it was more recent than that.
I don't remember a recent tour of it, which is Grease 2, isn't it? Cool Rider.
Yeah, but they definitely did a West End thing of it.
Which is an awful film. We could do 5 least favourite musical films, and Grease 2 could come up on it.
That'd be good.
Or just least favourite films, and it could be all the sequels. Grease 2, Mean Girls 2.
Oh my god, that was awful. Yeah.
I know about Mean Girls 2.
I know I won't like it, but I do want to see Thriller. I see it performing at like West End Live and stuff, and I'm like, oh, like the choreography and stuff.
I feel like if I saw the West End production, I'd probably be like, oh, okay, I get it now. It was definitely the performers dragged it down for me 10 times. I probably still wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Per se, but I think I'd be like, oh, okay, I get it. And it's definitely tourist taste. But I just wish they were built like like King's Cross Theatre was temporary built. I wish it was in a temporary space, its own space, so we could have that West End theatre back.
Yeah, because this is like
because it is very small and it's very easy to move. Like it's such an easy tour. And I'm surprised it doesn't tour more frequently. And I know when it has toured before, I remember it came on tour to like my town before that. I think it only stayed for 1-2 days. I think it used to do 2-day stops.
Oh, what's the point?
Because it's so easy to move.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
That they don't have to set up. It is essentially like with Chicago.
A fill-in show.
It's a fill-in. It's space-wise. It's so easy to fill into any theatre, and it is essentially just like scaffolding that has a screen on it, and then it's just the performers and the lighting.
Wow.
It really is very easy to move. Like you could easily put it, and I bet you in like in the round. I'm restaging it. Yeah. I bet you in the round kind of space. Yeah. They used to have an in the round theatre at the King's Cross when it was the Donmar. Yeah. If they use like an in the round space, it would work so well. Yeah. I'm thinking of that Donmar space. And no one, if you saw at the if you went to the Donmar King's Cross when they showed the Shakespeare trilogy, brilliant trilogy. You probably would have found it really painful. Yeah. It's one of those things that day. Even I was like, this is really painful. It's a lot of Shakespeare.
It's like a whole day.
It was intense. It was like 10:30 in the morning till like 11 PM. It was intense. And coincidentally, I sat next to a friend who is on YouTube. I don't know if she watches anymore. Her YouTube channel called Plays and Blankets. Go and watch her, by the way. I really want more people to go and watch her, actually. So go and watch Plays and Blankets. We'll link it down below. Rukaya, you need to watch her too, because I never told you about her. She only has like, I don't think she has many subscribers, actually. But she does theatre videos all the time. She's extremely interesting. So go and find her. Oh. Anyway, by coincidence, I knew her anyway through YouTube, and I sat down one day, and I turned next to me, and I was like,
oh.
And it was her, and she didn't live in the UK, by the way.
Oh,
she lives in
I think you have mentioned this to me
Austria?
before.
I don't know where she is. Wow. That's so mean. She's going to watch this video, but I don't live in Austria. She was somewhere...
somewhere not in the UK, presumably.
Somewhere European. I bet it's somewhere really easy. I can't remember where it was. I'm not going to rack my brain about it, because I'm not going to remember. But she was sat next to me. Anyway, not the point. That space was like a metal structure, because it was like a prison. And it looked like the metal structure at Thriller. And I can imagine it in the round space. Yeah. It would work so nicely. And be more of like a concert experience. Yeah. Talking of concert experiences, this is so random on a tangent. I'm so excited for Mamma Mia the Party.
Oh yeah, a friend of mine is in Sweden and saw it the other day, and they said it was really
when it comes to London, whenever it comes. I'm really hoping they do.
Isn't it?
They need to do a bloggers night. We can all go.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
We are going to be smashed on sangria and singing along, eating oysters to ABBA, which is what I want to do with my life.
Oh my god, Sam would love it.
It would be.
She's so obsessed with Mamma Mia.
We have to go like a huge like Hindu style party.
Oh my god, yes.
Such a good night out.
I'm like so certain that I've seen it's coming to London. We'll have to.
It is coming out. I've signed up for updates. I haven't had any updates yet.
You've signed up for updates, you absolute keynote.
I'm so excited. No, you know when they like tweet it like sign up if you want more updates. I'm like,
but you're like, yes, I'm on it.
In the first like 5 minutes, I was like, oh, because I've heard this already.
You're like the first.
I'm so excited. So I'm on their MailChimp list now, ready to go. I'm really excited. I didn't like Mamma Mia. The Mamma Mia stage show is really dated, actually.
But like the experience was
but the idea of doing it in that big space. When I saw that trailer, if you watch the trailer for it, they have the trailer with footage from like wherever they did it. Austria, Sweden, Denmark. They've done it in loads of European cities. And now it's coming to, they're building its own purpose-built space.
Oh, I like that.
In London for it.
That's another thing that.
And they're going to make it like the Greek island, like the Greek taverna. And you're going to be in there. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
That's exciting.
I've actually got tears. I've actually got tears.
Oh my god, Shaun.
So excited for Mummy.
While he's crying, going back to about Thriller, this is why it annoys me, because obviously they're going to keep it on for a while because tourists bloody love it, and obviously money just goes into it. But so many more exciting things could be there.
This will come up in one of our topic videos.
Yeah.
When we talk about money.
Money.
Let's cover
money,
this.
Money.
Mamma Mia the party. Oh my god, Mamma Mia 2 coming out next year. Here we go again. Oh, all this Mamma Mia. I'm sorry, Mamma Mia is just... I think
Mamma Mia... I didn't know you liked Mamma Mia this much.
The stage show, not so much.
Yeah,
Mamma Mia the movie, I swear to God, Mamma Mia the movie deserved the Academy Award for Best Picture.
Yeah, I do.
Best movie ever made, maybe. What a bloody brilliant movie.
Wow.
I really think it's one of the best movies ever made. I love Mamma Mia the movie.
I'm really passionate about this.
Yeah, it gave me emotional actually. I really love Mamma Mia the movie. I think it's so good.
Let's wrap this up, shall we, before you like...
That was just a bit of positivity at the end for you.
Yeah,
like,
no, it was
I hate the other shows, but Mamma Mia... Mamma Mia, get me there now.
Let me tell you.
I might book a last minute ticket, go now.
Oh my god.
No, I wouldn't, but I love Mamma Mia. I actually hate the stage show. I actually really don't like the stage show. I didn't enjoy it very much, but I really like the film and the party. So yeah, when you hear Mamma Mia the party and he gets an announcement date, just know that I'm sat somewhere in the country screaming. I can't wait.
Wow, I did not expect you to come out with that.
Oh, anyway, what a tangent. Really where's
that Anyway. Let us know in the comments if you agree with our least favourite
Let us know if you're excited for Mamma Mia the party.
Let us know if you're excited for Mamma Mia the party.
I'm thinking...
I'm excited now for
Let us know if you want a Mamma Mia the party meet-up.
Oh my god.
They should do a special performance where it's like us and everyone.
Yeah.
I'm
sure we can make that happen. It's totally easy, right?
Everyone emailed De Winters
or everyone
emailed De Winters and asked them we want a special performance.
Yeah.
I mean it won't work. Oh my gosh, if you do, congrats. I don't know what I'm gonna say. If they do, find out when it's opening for me because I've signed up for my updates and I haven't got one yet, so I'm just waiting.
Wow.
Anyway. I'm already drunk on this, all the drinks we'll be drinking that night. I'm already drunk.
I'm like totally sober right now.
Prospectively drunk.
Anyway, yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Don't hate. Be respectful of all opinions. Go follow Shaun on all his social media.
And go and check out my web series, which will now be a thing.
Yeah, it'll be announced by the time this is up.
Well, yeah, it's being announced in 2 days, so unless it's going up
it's definitely
in the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Go and check it out down below.
Yes, and obviously subscribe to me if you haven't already. Why have you not already?
And if you are, don't unsubscribe.
Yeah, please don't unsubscribe.
That's really rude.
That'd be so sad. Don't.
If you want to see Mamma Mia the party footage, make sure you subscribe. Or else you're never going to know if I went or not.
Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and
smash that like button.
Smash that like. I hate when people do that.
Always wanted to say on your videos.
Like,
so
smash that. I think you've done it before.
Yeah, I definitely have. Sure my friends and I just say it in like general life.
Just smash that like button.
Rukaya said before, I say random slang all the time. My friends and I, if it's really funny, we go, smash that like button. Sometimes it's really awkward, sometimes it's just, you're in the right mood, it's funny enough. Oh, I've got really emotional, I'm just a mess now.
Right, I'm just going to end
this video needs to end.
Okay, bye!
Bye!